Alright folks, if you take a look to your right hand side, you're gonna man, right? Stern face, long flowing hair, big beard. That's nice and everything. And I'm sure that's how Father Monroe facial is. I think the sculptor did. John Jacob Astor. I will give you an example. In 1803, his company revenued $3 million from first law. That's 1803 money. 1800 blacksmith. That is the only strip mall with no fudge shops.
That is true.
But Mayor's house. She has been mayor here for 32 years. And I just thought it was a stroke of genius, guys, for them to put a golf course. Down the hill there to your left, you're going to see the Mackinac Island Public in 1890. He kept it for about 20 years and then 19 because let alone $15,000. State of Michigan pews $15 right about now. Yeah. Now we're pulling up to right. See those green and white stripe carriages over there? Those are what we call our 747s. I'm just kidding. Have to check yourself for ticks, but you do have to watch out for poison oak. Big bats of it.
Strawberry wine?
Strawberry wine, dandelion wine, also every wine you can think of. She likes the fruit. They could hit a target with no scope up to 500-600 yards. This is the rifle range where they practice shooting. They sit at the very bottom of this hill and they set up targets on each one. Black, Barry, get up. Get Blackberry.
Look at me, AJ.
Just a tiny bit? Okay, there we go.
Don't get too close, you see all the wrinkles.
Oh, I know.
George Washington? Abraham Lincoln?
Are trying to save this fort. What else can we do? We're here at Fort Mackinac.
Pretty good assignment. Thought it was a pretty good assignment.
Stand by the hand.
Closely here, it does make a little bit of a spark, and you would take a paper cartridge from your cartridge box back here, and you have to rip this open with your teeth, pour some powder into the flash pan here, and when that spark lands on that powder, it ignites. The rest of your powder goes in down the front of the weapon, so through the muzzle end. And you have to pour this down, and then you draw your ramrod and pack everything in. Now this open pan, handle, cartridge. Prime. Close pan. Pass about.
I'll show you in a minute.
Charge cartridge. Draw ramrod. Ram cartridge. Turn rammer.
I'm trying to eat.
Shoulder fire.
Okay, here it goes.
Hey, ready. Poison. Fire. Fire.
I mean, we made that one.
Sanitariums were developed to isolate the sick and provide them.
Very reluctant. However, I remedied this by firmly binding the leg.
Good.
Specifically to take care of those burning sparks or embers, it's called a wet swab. You use this after every single shot, no matter what. The wet swab is basically just a large, dirty, wet Q-tip, a sponge. Just going to dunk that in a bucket of water, run that down the cannon barrel, and that should extinguish the sparks in a couple different ways. One, we're introducing moisture, obviously fire and water don't mix, and two, we're actually creating a vacuum in the gun barrel. So if you heard that thunk there, that's the sound of that vacuum collapsing. So that does mean that we should have to stand well off to the side of the barrel of the gun. Back in the 1880s, they actually would have had a straight rammer out on the opposite side of the wet swab, which was a lot quicker, but also it puts the gunner directly in front of the muzzle of the gun. It's a very bad place to be. All right, now that we've got the cannon rolled forward into its firing position, Kelly's going to prime it. He's going to prick open the charge that we have with a brass vent pick. Run that down the touch hole where I just had my thumb to pierce that bag open. Then he's going to install a friction primer. This is our ignition device. A little brass tube filled with very fine gunpowder, and on one end there's a friction-sensitive chemical called fulminate of mercury. One of the things you'll find in a match head, and that's mounted on a pin. So you pull the pin out, it strikes through that chemical, that ignites the powder in the tube, and that'll send a jet of flame down into our main charge. That's what ignites the main charge and sends the cannonball flying out. So, looks like Kelly's just about ready to fire, so this would be a great time for you folks to cover your ears or prepare your cameras. I recommend covering your ears, it is quite loud. And with that, there are just 2 commands to fire this cannon. They are ready, fire! And there's our cannon salute to welcome you folks to Fort Mackinac. I hope you enjoyed it.
I had to wait. I got stuck in the ground.
This was Edward's work and study space.
Not bad at all. How are you? So how about that fire?
Yeah, it's getting there, yeah.
Where do you put the donations?
50s.
What do you mean by seasoning it? You just heat it all up to harden it, or?
Well,
Seasoning?
it's like seasoning a cast iron skillet to keep it from rusting. The way I do that is with beeswax.
And the wax soaks right into it?
Yep, and it'll fill in all the little pores and grooves and imperfections of the metal. And basically it's waterproofing.
Yeah.
And if water can't get to it, it won't rust. And on the off chance, well, eventually the wax will wear off.
Yeah.
When that happens, we use the same basic design.